Hi, my name is Kim Urbanowski. I am the Executive Director of the Orion Area Chamber of Commerce, and this is the Shop Local show, so welcome. Our guest today is Matt Pfeiffer. Matt is the owner of Northern Flooring and Interiors. He is the president of the board of directors of the Orion Area Chamber of Commerce, and just one really awesome guy. So we're going to talk to him a little bit today about his business and some of his charitable works in the community. Welcome, Matt.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Sorry about the sunglasses, but I was at a chamber event all day yesterday, and you know how some of those chamber events go. My eyes were a little rough this morning, so I apologize.
Day. It was a beautiful day yesterday.
Yeah, just kidding.
So welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Great. So we're going to start a little bit with your stint with the chamber. You're currently the president of the chamber. This is your first year as the president. Last year you served as vice president, correct?
That is correct, yes.
Okay. How long have you been with the Chamber of Commerce?
As a member, it's a good question. I didn't see. I should have read the script. I think 4 years now or so. I've been on the board for 3, and I think I was on after the first year. So we'll say 4 years.
Okay.
We'll go with that.
And I hear that it took a little bit of time for you to warm up to the idea of joining the Chamber of Commerce.
Well, yes and no. I was actually a member many years ago, and the chamber wasn't quite as vibrant as it is today, quite frankly, and so we didn't have the leadership that we have today with an awesome executive director, and prior to you with Elena Campbell, who did a fantastic job. And so, in fact, Elena is the reason I did rejoin. So I dropped out many years ago because it just wasn't. There weren't a lot of activities. It was kind of an inactive chamber going back a decade or so, and Elena would stop by almost weekly. The dry cleaner next door to our previous location was her dry cleaner. Okay. And so she would stop by almost weekly and say, come on, we got to get you in, we got to get you in. And then her and Kelly McDonald did the full court press, and I'm so glad they did. Right. Obviously, I enjoy being a part of the chamber. I find great benefit to our business and to the community. So, yes, about 4 years ago, I was reluctantly added, and I've never looked back.
Right. So it's important to have people like you involved in it. I agree with you. When I owned my business, I was part of the chamber back probably 2008. So, 9 years ago, and I agree that it was not what it is now, and so there's a whole different dynamic. With a lot of really great business leaders who run their own individual businesses and have great input for our members. So, you are someone who is willing to share experiences and opportunities with pretty much everybody in our chamber. What is something that you found, excuse me, from the beginning, when you first joined, that has gotten you through maybe some tough times? Like, have you had any?
Well,
yeah.
It's maybe a broad question, or maybe I'm taking it broadly. But when I joined the chamber 4 years ago or so, I was at a place where I really just needed to have some sort of shakeup. I was in a little bit of a rut, you could say, with my business, in the sense that our business was doing great. We're making money, and we kind of had come through the crush of the downturn, and being a part of the chamber kind of reinvigorated me. And I made a decision at that point that our business was going to focus more on community and charity than me focusing on the day-to-day tasks of the business. I have an incredibly great staff, and they've taken on those day-to-day roles, which has freed me up to be a part of the community. So in doing that, with the chamber and with some other avenues, BNI, which is, we have a great BNI group here in Lake Orion. I'm part of the Oxford Chamber as well, and the Rochester Chamber, and then being a part of a lot of the local charities or nonprofits, Daisy Project and the Veterans Memorial, and Design for a Difference, which is one we're real proud of. So that gave me a different focus, and what I found is our business actually did better because of it, because obviously a lot of people know our business as being involved in the community, and we get a lot of visibility from that, and it helps us to even do more. So it's kind of it's a great cycle that it creates, because the more, obviously, the better we do, and with our growth, the more we can give back in terms of community sponsorships, charity, and mentorship to maybe new businesses coming into the area. So it was joining the chamber, along with some other things, really kind of changed our whole business, and I feel that today we have a really good reputation. And I attribute a lot of that to my relationship with the chamber. I mean, we've got almost 400 businesses in the chamber, as you know, and we have an incredibly good chamber. I mean, I've heard that it's the best chamber in Michigan. I'm not sure where I heard that, but I did hear that, and I might have, but I think it's true. We have a. I mean, you go to our events, and yesterday, being at the event with the picnic, we have so much fun together. We are a big family, and I call on other business owners in the community and leaders, and they call on me, and we all are there to help each other. And what an amazing support group!
Right.
Being a business owner can be a very lonely thing, and being a part of this organization, as well as our other involvements, takes that away to a great extent. And you're never alone if you're facing a challenge. There's somebody in our community and in our chamber that's faced it, and they are more than willing to pick up the phone when you call and give you advice, guidance, or sometimes just be an ear.
Right.
Sometimes that's enough. So chamber has been fantastic for our business.
I think that's one of the great things that I've been hearing lately, is that we have these events and people come and then they start building relationships, and I've been trying to impress upon people, don't just talk about your business, make people understand who you are, what makes you tick, what your interests are, build a relationship with people. You may not necessarily need somebody right now, but if you've been talking to someone at these events, then maybe someday I might need to have my carpet, and of course you're going to be first in my mind because I see you all the time and I trust you and I know I can come to you and talk to you. Those are some of the things, like you just said, building those relationships and getting to know people. What is some of your best advice for maybe people that are considering joining the chamber, or have just joined the chamber and are not quite there yet with their relationship building or their networking? What can you say as our chamber president would be some really good things for them to do?
Well, first of all, great question. Thanks, Kim. If it's something that you're not sure that you want to do then you should come to some events. I guarantee if you were at our picnic yesterday, if you weren't convinced, you probably would have been convinced just being there. The Thirsty Thursdays they're fantastic opportunities to just network, and you don't need to be a member to come to Thirsty Thursday. That's open to everybody in our community that wants to come and network with business leaders and community leaders. Those are great chances if you're on the fence. And also reach out to some of us. We have an incredible group of ambassadors that do amazing work, and when you join, they'll be out to visit you to make sure that you understand the benefits. And we have great meetings, that you can go to really see all the benefits that are available to you as a chamber member. The orientation, thank you. Incredible. I mean, and we get what now, 20, 30 people show up at those
30,
per orientation. It's an amazing range of benefits, whether it be marketing benefits through Sherman Pub that we get and discounts, whether it be discounts. There's a lot of discounts that are available for your business or your home or your family just by being a member of the chamber. So explore the benefits, meet with some of the people, and I think you'd be hard pressed to find a reason not to join. And it's everything's expensive these days, but for $250 our basic membership, you get all the benefits of being an Orion Area Chamber member. And when you really think about your marketing budget, which is where this should come from, that's a very small drop in the bucket, regardless what size business you are. kind of crazy not to. But we need to earn it, and I think we do a great job doing that every day. So reach out to us. I'm always available to chat with people. Not always available, but I will make myself available quickly if you need to chat. As is Kim. If you call our staff in the office, we have a great staff there too.
Yes, we do.
Carla and Jillian are just fantastic. So reach out to us. We'll convince you, and you're going to wonder why you didn't do it sooner. I guarantee it.
Well, Matt, thank you very much. You're always a great advocate, not just for the chamber, but for the community as a whole. And we do appreciate your leadership and for joining the chamber and being a voice for us. So we hope you stick around for a very long time, at least for the next a year and a half, for your finishing up your presidency and then coming back. Right?
We'll have to win another election to get another year, so we'll see how that goes. I think there might be a battle this time around, but that's okay.
We'll see.
Well, I appreciate it, and appreciate the support that the chamber gives me.
Wonderful. Thank you, Matt. We'll be right back with the Shop Local show after this message.
Hey, it's ONTV here. Now, have you ever had the urge to create your own TV show? Or just wanted to see what goes behind the scenes of making one? Well, we have just the program for you. ONTV offers production classes, which allow you to take control and create the programs you want them to be. To get started, all you have to do is sign up for a free orientation, and then register for one of our production courses. For more information, feel free to call us at 248-393-1060, or go to orionontv.org and click register now to sign up for classes. We hope to see you soon.
Hi, and welcome back to the Shop Local show. We're here with Matt Pfeiffer, the owner of Northern Flooring and Interiors, and also the Board of Directors, President of the Chamber of Commerce. So happy to have you here. We're going to talk a little bit about Northern Flooring and Interiors, your heart, where your heart lies, right?
Well, my heart lies more in Lake Orion and my family than it does, Northern Flooring is a vehicle, and I'm very proud of it, but my heart's in the community and the family.
And so how long have you been in the community?
A really long time, really long time. But before that, I just wanted to say, I was noticing during the break, what a beautiful table. It's just amazing. Gorgeous table. You guys really have stepped it up here. I appreciate it. My family moved to Lake Orion in 1967. And in 67, they were there's some dispute in the family whether it was the 12th or the 13th house built in Keatington Sub 1. So if you've heard of Keatington, and I'm guessing most of you or all of you have, that's where my family started out here. So I'm born and raised here. I went through the schools here, went to Weber Elementary. I went to what was called Junior High West now, which I think you kids call Walden Middle School, I think, at this point. And that was back in the days of the East-West rivalry. Ask your parents, and they'll tell you about that. Those were interesting days. And then I graduated from what you all know as the Cirque Building, or those of you know the school system, as the Cirque Building back in 1987. And interesting, I have prom pictures tonight. My son is graduating in, 2 weeks or less than 2 weeks. 30 years later, we have our 30-year reunion this year, and my son is graduating from Lake Orion 30 years later, so that's kind of a cool thing. And then my daughter, Paris, next year. So this community is part of me. And I did leave for a while. There was a time when I did leave and do some traveling. I had the good fortune of living out in Maui for a while, and lived down in South Carolina and down in Australia for a bit. So I was out of Orion for a bit, but Orion was never out of me. So it was kind of a no-brainer to come back as my wife and I had children, to bring them back here to raise them in the community that I remembered so fondly from growing up. Yeah. So Northern Flooring, my family was in the flooring business. They were actually manufacturers reps, which is what I started doing out of school. And then I went out on my own. And Northern Flooring was a business that was here for about 15 years at the time I bought it. And they were struggling, and they were closing. They had already basically closed, other than they were still open, kind of struggling at the end. So I bought the business. At the time, I thought as an investment. I was going to continue my day job, and quickly realized that running a floor covering and interiors business took a lot more time. So I switched over to doing that full time back in 2004, and been running it and directly involved ever since then. We were in the same location up until recently.
Right.
We were in the Orion Village Plaza next to Master Care Cleaners and OPA and
Right.
Main Street Bicycle in there. And just recently this spring, which the Chamber was an awesome help and support with a pretty cool ribbon cutting that we did. We moved into our new building, which was the library that I went to as a kid, and
Right.
most recently it was my bank. So we bought that building and converted it and made what we think is a pretty special showroom for our clients and our community.
It is. It's beautiful. It's absolutely
Thank you.
beautiful.
Thank
I know you
you.
put a lot of thought and hard work and effort into that. It happened fast. It seems like it was like months that you transformed that place.
Yeah, it was 11 weeks from the day that we took possession from Alliance Catholic Credit Union to the day that we started operating there. It was 11 weeks, and we had to gut the building completely.
Yeah.
And do a lot of conversion. One of the things I'm most proud of in that process, and obviously my staff was heavily involved, my family, but a lot of chamber members and a lot of community members helped us do this.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that as a local business, I believe it's our responsibility to try and work with other local businesses. And so our project was, whether it be electrical, plumbing, whether it be the actual construction, whether it be cleanup, whether it be landscaping, you name it. Almost everybody that did work on our building is a chamber member. And everybody that did work on our building is local, local to this community. Probably most of them live within 10 miles of our store.
Yeah.
And so we're really proud of that. I think the more of us that do that as businesses in our day-to-day, and not only when we're doing a conversion of a building, but the more of us that do that, the stronger our community is going to be. And as this world continues to become global in terms of global commerce and the internet, it's going to be harder and harder for businesses like mine and other businesses within our community to survive. And so it's basically a community decision.
Yeah.
that we want to have great local businesses that are giving back to our community,
Right.
or do we want to buy everything on the internet and become just a computer-only society? I think that's the question that faces our time and our children. So we really made a huge effort to make sure that everything we did was local.
Okay, stay tuned. We're going to come back and talk to Matt a little bit more about those charitable endeavors at Northern Flooring and Interiors.
Hello, I'm Oakland County Sheriff Mike Bouchard.
And I'm former Detroit Red Wing Joe Koster.
We'd like to remind you to practice safe boating by knowing the laws regarding water safety.
Please make sure you have the necessary safety equipment on board and be sure all of your equipment is working properly before leaving the dock.
And the probability of being involved in a boating accident nearly doubles when alcohol is involved. Always check local weather conditions, and if you notice darkening clouds, play it safe. Get off the water. Have a safe, enjoyable summer on the lake.
Hi, welcome back to the Shop Local show. I'm sitting here with Matt Pfeiffer. We're having a lot of fun. We're going to talk a little bit more about, you've talked about community and charitable giving and commitment to, nonprofits and that type of thing. And going back to the chamber picnic that we were at yesterday, I can honestly say that, there are a lot of people in this community, you know where I'm going, a lot of people in this community that do wonderful things. Will do anything at the drop of a hat, give money, sponsor something, volunteer, and all of that. But I'm just really impressed that we were going to do this charitable giving for the Daisy Project for their inclusive ball field that's going in at Friendship Park, and so we were trying to think of a way to tie in charitable giving to that and how we could raise some money. And we thought maybe throwing some of our community members under the bus might be a good way to do it.
To be clear, we didn't think. You thought.
Well, I meant the office.
Yeah,
I meant the office.
I was not a part of the decision.
So we came up with the idea to do a dunk tank, and charge for the opportunity to throw balls at certain people. So, Township Supervisor Chris Barnett, of course, was on board, and Police Department, Lake Orion Police Department Chief Jerry Narsh said yes, and then of course you as the chamber president, and just overall beloved guy in the community. I asked you if you would do it, and you said, of course. So it was a beautiful June day, not quite warm enough for swimming, but you did take one for the team and get in that dunk tank, and earned us quite a bit of money. So
Well, you did too, so I commend you. Thanks for doing it and putting jumping in there with us. First of all, it was a beautiful day, surprisingly warm considering the weather we've had this spring. It was fantastic, but if you've ever felt well water, and deep in the well, normally you get that little bit of warm water, like right at the beginning, like that first, and then
like
then
this
it's
much.
then it's below 38 degrees, I think, below, or I'm not scientifically gifted, but it's cold. So the water was so freaking cold, as you know,
Yes.
that it wasn't pleasant. I have to admit, for the first 3 or 4 drops.
you went in. You went quite a few times.
Yeah, well, yeah. Apparently, a few people wanted to sink me, but you went in your share as well.
I did.
So the water was so cold, so cold. Sorry.
No, but I think that's, and I wanted to bring that up just because that, anytime you go to, Ellopalooza or Playhouses for a Purpose and all of these wonderful charitable organizations that, it's pretty much a given. And I know there's so many things going on in the community that you'd love to be able to say yes to all of them. And there's so much, but you are the person that people go to. They Matt Pfeiffer, he's a giver. Whether it's putting a box in the office to collect for Bruce, or giving a box for the veterans, or packing up the backpacks, or whatever it is that you do, you're just the go-to guy. And what's the reason for that? I mean, what does that do?
In all honesty, it makes business a lot more enjoyable. It makes being alive more enjoyable, really.
Right.
Not to sound too cliche, but
That's deep.
Well,
Yeah.
we all have stresses, and business isn't easy. We deal with all kinds of challenges, whether it be competitive, whether it be installation challenges or whatever in our field, and those things can really wear on you over time. But what doesn't wear on you, what is always a positive, is when you're able to help others, and it does become addictive. In all honesty, we say yes probably more than we can afford to, but it's very hard to say no, and we have so many needs, even in our community. I mean, we're in the 9th richest county in the country,
Right.
but even in our community, we have people that are hungry, we have homeless.
Yep.
We have obviously people fighting disease, people with disabilities. We have veterans that have served our country that deserve support and love. So it quite frankly, it makes everything else better to be able to give back, and it makes the challenges that are inevitable that we face in business and in life a little more bearable.
Yeah.
And if somebody's upset with you over something, or if you lose a project to somebody or whatever, those things that can really wear on you as a business owner, knowing that you're doing those things and feeling the love come back, which we do as a business and as individuals, it takes a lot of that away and makes it a lot more enjoyable. So it's kind of selfish if you look at it that way, but I guess I'd rather be selfish and happy than be wealthy and unhappy.
Right.
So it's a wonderful thing, and we're really proud of it. And we continue to try and do as many as we can, and we can't say yes to everybody. I wish we could. It is very hard to say no, and there's a lot of needs. But we've got Daisy Project is one that we've worked with since the beginning, when the Let Them Play park was first brought up by Christy Shones, and she worked with Barnett and the folks at the township to get that going, and we started with them on that, and we've been with them all the way through Playhouses and Ellopalooza, and that's been great. We have the Veterans Memorial, which I think is something that if you haven't gone to the Veterans Memorial, go.
Oh, yeah.
We have these incredible veterans that work so hard to keep it meticulous. I mean, good luck finding a weed or anything
Right.
out of place there. And it is beautiful and it is somber, but it is something that we as a community should be incredibly proud of. So to support something like that is a gift, just to be able to.
Sure.
And I didn't serve our country. I didn't have that calling, but a lot of people did, and we want to thank them. One of the charities that we're very proud of, because we are a part of the founding of it, is Design for a Difference. And Design for a Difference is now a movement. It was a contest, and it was a contest for designers to partner with nonprofits that needed to improve their facilities, to make their facilities better. Because what we find is a lot of nonprofits don't have money to spend on their needs, on their facilities. They're so focused on helping those out in the community that they don't have that opportunity. So because of that, they struggle, and their facilities are often very run down. So Design for a Difference is a movement. We every year we select a charity, and we rally the community, and we have our spokesperson and celebrity designer Mark Burnett's out of LA, who comes in to help. And so we do these makeovers, and we try and make a difference, and we're always looking for help. If you're an interior designer and you want to help in terms of the design of a Design for a Difference, please reach out to us and join us. Or just a community member that wants to just come out and volunteer when we're actually doing a makeover, or maybe a contractor, somebody who does heating, cooling, electrical, that wants to give back. There's always a place for you to help us with these makeovers, and I promise you, when you learn about the charities, in fact, I have a meeting today at Dutton Farm, which is our current DFAD project, and we are going to pull the trigger on the construction today. So we won't actually start construction. We're going to finalize and schedule, and all the materials be ordered. So we're going to be doing the makeover out at Dutton Farm, which is an incredibly cool local charity, very close to here, and they do great work with developmentally disabled adults and help them to get job placement. And
Right.
they grow vegetables. You go out there, if you're having a bad day, go out to Dutton Farm and just hang out for a little bit, maybe buy a candle or some vegetables and walk around and meet the farmers. You won't be having a bad day when you leave. Your problems will seem pretty insignificant, and it's one of the happiest places you'll go. And don't hesitate to reach out to us if you'd like to be involved in any of these, or if you'd just like to talk about how doing these types of projects can really benefit not only your soul, but your staff and your business as well.
Well, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
I look forward to hearing the announcement about Design for a Difference. I think I might know. I'm kind of excited, but we'll see. When do you think you'll announce that?
Ugh.
I'm not going to nail you down.
Design
on
for
that
Difference is it's a challenge, because we have so many things we have to bring to fruition to be able to move forward. But we will be announcing, I'm going to say confidently, this summer. And the project actual completion of that work, Dutton Farm will be done this summer.
Okay.
The completion of the work of the new project will be next spring to early summer is the goal. So stay tuned. Stay
we
tuned,
will,
yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for talking to us today, Matt. It's good to.
I'm not a big talker, so it was a big
It's very
commitment,
tough.
but I appreciate
Very
you
tough.
inviting me and encouraging me to be able to chat with you today.
Well, we appreciate it. Well, thank you very much for tuning in to the Shop Local show. If you would like to know more about Matt and Northern Flooring and Interiors or the Orion Area Chamber of Commerce, visit us online at orionareachamber.com. Come and see us at one of our Coffee Connects or our Thirsty Thursday. Everyone is always welcome. I'd love to see you. So thank you very much for tuning in to the Shop Local show. If you'd like to find out more about Matt Pfeiffer, Northern Flooring and Interiors, or any of our other really wonderful members, please visit us online at orionareachamber.com or visit us at one of our Thirsty Thursday, Coffee Connect, or luncheon events. Thank you.